was using Hobonichi planners for 8 years. And this beautiful Hobonichi horn was supposed to be my daily journaling companion for the year 2025. But look at all these empty pages. Hobonichi has already launched their collection on September 1st, but before you spend your hard-earned money, let me share why I am breaking up with my Hobonichi for good and what I learned after spending nearly $200 every year on planners that looked perfect but didn't work for my real life. Hi, I'm Win, and if you are struggling to find a planning system that actually sticks, this video is just for you. So don't get me wrong, let me start by saying that I love Hobonichi planners. Since 2017, I have used the A6, the week size, and the cousin. And the Hobonichi Weeks was actually my favorite because it was the perfect size to carry everywhere, and the cousin's A5 size was ideal for combining work and personal planning. So what I loved most was having everything in one place. I would do my pre-weekly planning in that vertical calendar section of the cousin, and then I carry those tasks into my Hobonichi Weeks as my on-the-go planner. And the paper quality was incredible. No bleeding with fountain pens. Although last year I did see a lot of complaints, but I don't have that problem at all. And another thing, the soft grid lines that didn't interfere with my writing, and that beautiful white paper that made everything pop. I genuinely thought that I have found my forever planner. But then the reality hit. As my job scope got heavier and life got more complex, I started noticing problems. The space in the weeks was not enough when I needed to take detailed notes. I found myself carrying a second notebook, which defeated the whole everything in one place concept. And also, my ideas were scattered across sticky notes that would get lost often, random notebooks that I couldn't remember writing in, and I was constantly moving the same task from day to day, from week to week. And here's the frustrating part, I was duplicating tasks between my cousin and my weeks. But the breaking point came during a work meeting. I had written down some brilliant ideas for my finance unit, but when I wanted to revisit them a few weeks later, I just couldn't find them. I spent minutes flipping through pages, getting more frustrated until I just simply gave up. The idea was lost. But then I did find it eventually, which was like a few months later, but it was too late. That's when I realized that my system was broken. So, despite these issues, I still love Hobonichi. So, for the year 2025, I decided to try something different. I bought this Hobonichi horn, which is the hardcover, thinking that I would use it purely for my journaling. The vertical calendar would be for my daily gratitude, and the daily pages for reflecting on my life. So I had this romantic vision of daily journaling as a mompreneur. But the reality is, this planner is now about 50% filled only, and in the last 2 months, probably I've journaled maybe about 10 days per month. And you know what? I am completely okay with that. When my father passed away, when I've achieved something meaningful, and when I needed to process my emotions, I recorded all those entries in here, and they are extremely precious to me. But forcing myself to write every single day, that was just adding pressure to an already overwhelming life. As a working mom who barely gets proper sleep, sitting down to journal after an exhausting day was the last thing on my mind. So I realized that I was trying to structure on something that needed to be organic. So that frustration led me to develop what I now call my 3 planner system. And here's the irony. It might sound like more work, but it's actually simpler and more effective than any single planner I've ever used. So my Franken planner in this cloth and paper cover is my strategic brain, where structure and long-term planning live. And this is my Bible-size Me Plus planner, which is my execution brain. I plan my daily task, and it also becomes my on-the-go planning. And this focus notebook, this is my creative brain, where messy, unfiltered thoughts get captured. So remember that lost finance idea that I mentioned earlier? Now, whenever thoughts like that strike, they go straight into this focus notebook. There's no dates, no structure, just pure brain dump. And during my weekly reviews, I just simply process them and move everything actionable to the right places. But here's the game changer: flexibility. So with my disc ring system, I can just remove completed weeks, add new inserts, carry forward what I need. And when I don't have time for weekly planning, I just simply don't add that week's insert. There's no guilt, no empty pages staring at me. So this evolution made me realize why Hobonichi no longer works for my life as a mompreneur. First of all, it's just too heavy for my handbag. And when you're juggling kids, work, and life, every ounce matters, right? And secondly, there's no flexibility. With a bound book, you are stuck with every page, whether you use it or not. You can't bring forward those pages to next year, and you can't remove what you don't need. And thirdly, this is the crucial: finding information in here is a nightmare. Ideas get buried in these daily pages, and unless you remember exactly when you wrote something, it will be just lost. I know this because I have wasted so much time searching for my own thoughts in the Hobonichi. And let's talk about cost. I was spending roughly about $200 every year on Hobonichi products. I am just glad that I found alternative for my planning system. Now I just simply print my own inserts and invest in quality covers that last for years. Much more cost effective and infinitely more customizable. So here's what I've learned after 8 years of using Hobonichi planners and 25 years of planning experience. Beautiful planners don't mean perfect planners for you. So we see gorgeous Hobonichi setups on Instagram and think that should be me. But those perfect spreads don't show the empty pages, the abandoned systems, the guilt of not keeping up. The best planning system isn't the prettiest one or the most popular one. It's the one that adapts to your real life, not the life that you think you should have. So if you are watching this and thinking about your 2026 planner purchases, ask yourself this: what percentage of your current planner actually gets used? What are you trying to force that is not working? What does your real life need and not your ideal life? So no, I won't be buying Hobonichi for the year 2026. Instead, I'm sticking with my 3 planner system that actually works with my life as a busy mom and entrepreneur. My one-time investment in quality covers like this cloth and paper and plotter, Me Plus, and Traveler's Notebook means I can customize my inserts forever, and when my needs change, my system also adapts. So when ideas strike at 2 a.m. or during school pickup, they just go in my focus notebook. When I need to execute, they go into my daily planner. And when I need to strategize, I use my main planner. So each of these tools has a purpose and nothing gets lost. And here's the best part: no more guilt about empty pages, no more forcing myself into someone else's system, and no more beautiful planners that don't match my beautiful, messy, real life. So, if you are struggling with planning systems that look perfect but don't work, remember this: your planning system should serve your life and not the other way around. Before you get swept up in the 2026 planner launches, take an honest look at what you actually use versus what you think you should use. Sometimes the answer isn't a prettier planner, but it's a more honest approach to how you really live and work. And if you need help with that, I have the right tool for you to work on: the Planner Audit Checklist. It has 24 questions that reveal exactly what are you missing and what you need in a planning system. And I will link it right here in the description box below. Share your own planner evolution story, and if this video helped you to think differently about your 2026 planning choices, hit that subscribe button for more honest planning content. Until next time, choose function over form, and remember, you are doing better than you think. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!